Welcome to FTB Skies. Whenever you log in for the first time, you're loaded up onto a spawn island that has some interesting scenery. But the really cool thing about this mod pack is that you start off with a quest book. This book basically shows you how to run through all of the mods in this pack in a tutorial-like format. When going through your quests, you have your tasks on the left and rewards on the right. Once you complete your tasks, you get rewards. Cool. Now that we have that covered, let's create our first sky island. To keep things really simple, I picked the minimalist sky island. I felt like I couldn't really go wrong with this decision. And off we go. I find myself on a sky island surrounded by nothing but void. There's a tree, some grass, a waterfall, and a chest with some starter items, some of which I have no clue what they even do, and myself. And it's actually quite lonely. The very first quest, Welcome to FTB Skies, is now complete. And because of this, I get some rewards. Some XP, an interesting carrot, and an ability bottle. I begin to look deeper into all of the available quest lines, and I eventually find where I'm supposed to start. Getting started. Nice. To complete this quest line, I need to build a nether portal, but to get there, I have to do all of this other stuff in the middle first. Some of it is optional, but I'm going for 100%. Mama didn't raise no quitter. The quests on top are mostly introductory stuff. I say yes to all of it, kind of like reading terms of service, collect my rewards, and begin with the first quest, getting string. I click on the string to figure out how to acquire it, and it looks like I can get it by harvesting flax. Luckily, flax is one of the starter items, so this should be relatively easy. I do some basic inventory management, and I start punching the tree. After my fists have had their way with the tree, the leaves instantly disappear on me. Looks like fast leaf decay is in this pack. Sweet, this will make things go by so much faster. But there's one problem. My island is not nearly big enough. When the leaves broke, items fell off the edge. So, making this island wider now became my biggest priority. I take some of the wood I got from the tree, turn it into slabs, and start expanding. Now that my island is a thriving fortress, I plant a new tree and begin dancing next to it. But it doesn't grow. There's no twerking crops in this pack? That kind of sucks. So I apply bone meal to it instead. With the tree fully grown, I break it down and yes! The island is now wide enough to catch all of the items from the broken leaves. Hell yeah. But due to my excitement, I completely forgot how to make slabs and end up making 10 pressure plates instead. Great. I see if there's a mod that transforms it back into planks and nope. I'll figure out a use for these later, I guess. At this point, my fists are getting tired and I'm in desperate need of an axe. So with the newly acquired wood, I build an axe. I break down the tree with extreme speed thanks to my new axe, and I start sifting the ground for rocks and clumps of soil. But how would I know how to do this? This isn't standard Minecraft mechanics. Before starting this mod pack, I accidentally read somewhere that you can crouch and right click on the ground with an empty hand to find rocks and clumps of soil. Rocks can be crafted into cobblestone and clumps of soil can be crafted into dirt. So I sift and start expanding my dirt area. Now that I have a severe excess of dirt, I build a hoe so I can get my farmland ready for my flax seeds. I bone meal one of the flax seeds, harvest it, and turn it into string. And with that, the first quest is complete. Let's go. I open my quest book and collect my rewards for creating string, which is some bone meal, more flax seeds, and straw. The following quest tells me that I need to craft a string mesh. All it takes is some string and sticks, which is stuff I already have. While I confuse bone meal for string because they look so much alike, I end up making myself a string mesh. Another quest complete. Too easy. I then collect my rewards, a wooden hopper and cooked chicken cuts. I look at the next set of quests to discover that I'm in a fork in the road, getting sugarcane or creating a sifter. Tempted by the idea that I could acquire sugarcane this early in the mod pack, I check out the quest to quickly realize that I need a sifter to get any sort of sugarcane. I guess I'm going to be creating a sifter first. This is where things start getting complicated. To build a sifter, I need, well, I have no idea because I decided it was time to build a furnace and trees instead. After roasting some wood and turning it into charcoal, I now had torches in my arsenal. I refuse to have mobs spawning this early. I'm still extremely squishy. I then sift the dirt with my grimy fists and expand my island a little bit. Now that I've expanded my island a little bit, I place a couple more dirt blocks for saplings because having only one spot for trees was not nearly enough. I do some inventory management with the one chest I have and I finally start investigating how to make a sifter. The first thing I needed to make a sifter was a wooden gear. All I needed was a few sticks and a stone button, but I didn't have any stone. So I bone meal the new saplings, cut them down, and use the wood to turn cobblestone into stone. Guys, don't do this. Turn your wood into charcoal first. It'll burn for so much longer instead of just using planks. It literally hurts to watch this. I am so sorry. With the new stone block I fired up, I make a button and I am now ready to craft a wooden gear. So I do that. I have everything I need to make a sifter. I put all the pieces into place and I get my sifter, but the quest isn't done yet. I also need a hand crank. After crafting some simple materials, I make myself a hand crank, but the quest isn't marking itself as complete. I wonder if I have to actually place these down and use them? I place the sifter down and I put the hand crank on top. I start turning and nothing. What's wrong? I break down the hand crank and I punch the sifter with my fist and it completely broke. Well, this sucks. I didn't know it would break. Okay. Turns out sifters require a pickaxe to break and keep them. With this error in mind, I suck it up and I make another sifter. Luckily, the pieces aren't very difficult to craft. After spending about 30 seconds I won't get back making a new sifter, I work on a spot where I can place the sifter above ground and put the hand crank elsewhere. I read somewhere that the hand crank actually goes in the bottom of the sifter, that somewhere being my Discord. My Discord server is where our community hangs out and it also acts as our hub for our Minecraft server. I own a fully modded Minecraft server and we change mod packs around once a month to keep things fresh. Right now we're playing Feed the Beast Stone Block 3. It's 100% free for you to play with no restrictions. I don't believe in microtransactions. Link in the description if you're interested, and I hope to see you there. Sifters are basically useless without some sort of mesh on top. The type of mesh determines what sort of items you will get whenever you sift certain materials. Obviously, the string mesh is the very first one we get, so I don't expect items that are super rare to come out. I place the string mesh on top and I put the hand crank on the bottom. I spin it and it operates the whole sifter. We finally got it to work. Nice. However, the quest is still not marked as complete. What am I missing? To make things worse, it starts to rain. I end up breaking down my sifter because that location honestly kind of sucked, not because it started raining. That wouldn't make much sense now, would it? I know what I'm doing. I start deep diving into the quest to see what I possibly missed, and then I come across a revelation. So it looks like I have to do this one before I can complete this sifter process. Looks like if the arrows go into this, that means it depends on these being completed first. So that makes a lot of sense why I was holding the freaking items and it wasn't doing anything. All right, cool. Well, moving on, I guess. So with that information, I started doing the surrounding quests. Let's look at the log tree quest. This one is easy because I've been doing it. I've already grown a sapling and broke it down. Many times, actually. So, easy win. I take my golden apple and leaf rewards. The next quest is called I'm Twerked About Twerk. As we found out earlier, we can't really dance around plants to make them grow in this mod pack. This goes against all standard botanical knowledge, so we must rely on bone meal to make plants grow. And that's where composters come in. They create bone meal from organic material. I guess that's why we were given 32 freaking leaves as a reward on our previous quest. We create our composter out of slabs and we're immediately told the quest has been completed. After taking my rewards, I place the composter down and I toss my leaves into it and it gives me bone meal. That's cool, but it took so many leaves to fill it up. This was a very expensive way to get bone meal, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use this method very often, so I break it down. After I break the composter down, I'm starting to become overburdened with items. With Minecraft comes inventory problems. For some it takes 5 hours, for me it takes 5 minutes. I am running out of places to put all of my crap. I build a couple of chests and I put them in the most inconvenient spot on my island, far away from anything else and extremely difficult to access at any given time. But I will no longer have inventory problems ever again. And because I have a method to my madness beyond anyone's understanding, I put the sifter back exactly where I broke it down. And then I expand some more. You won't believe this, but it took this long to grow our first flax without bone meal. I am so excited, but in my excitement, I trigger sticky keys. I just reinstalled Windows 11 and I forgot to disable sticky keys. Leave me alone! Because the composting method is extremely expensive for getting bone meal, I start digging into alternative methods for acquiring it. I find that sifting is the best way to get bone meal, even with the cheap string mesh. This will be important information for me to have later. I come back to the book and see that our next quest is cobbled together, and the quest is already finished. It just required us to make cobblestone out of the rocks we sifted from the ground with our naked fists. When going through the rewards for this quest, I get something fun and unexpected. A pet rock. I take this pet rock and I place it down next to our chest. This is probably my favorite part of the mod pack so far. What do you want to name our pet rock? Let me know in the comments. As I walk away and look back to make sure it's still there, it turns to look at me. My heart almost melted. I was so happy. The rain finally stops. Thank God. We expand our farm a little bit because flax takes forever to grow. I needed as much land as possible so I would not run out of string. After we expand our farm, I check out the next quest. This is not a drill. This quest requires me to craft a hammer. In this mod pack, hammers break down cobble into their finer materials. It breaks down cobble into gravel, gravel into sand, and sand into dust. Different materials become different items in the sifter. That's how you get your starter materials in this mod pack. To make a hammer, I need stone rods instead of sticks. And then I need cobblestone as the head part. It's not a difficult crafting recipe. Of course, you can use more expensive materials, but we're youngins here. We're sticking with cobblestone. We craft our cobblestone hammer, complete our quests, and collect our rewards. To use the hammer, we place the cobblestone on the ground, and then I break one block with my hammer and it turns into gravel. Excellent, but breaking down one block at a time is going to take literally forever. I test to see if holding down the tilde key activates vein mining, and it does. As long as our mining item has durability, we are able to break down every connecting material. I have become a literal mining god. After breaking down the rest of the cobblestone, I go around to make sure our pet rock is doing okay, and it looks like he's doing just fine. I move forward and turn my gravel into sand. While we turn the gravel into sand, please take a moment to hit the like button and maybe even subscribing. It would mean the world to me, and it would let me know that you want more content like this. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. There's one more material we can break it down into, and that's dust. Let's do that. Now that we have broken down cobblestone all the way down to dust, we attempt to throw the dust into our sifter. Turns out I'm not high enough, so I build a little higher and I try again. Well, hold on. I hear footsteps. Wait, what? Our pet rock moves? I feel like I've been lied to my whole life because last I heard rocks don't have legs, but let me know in the comments. I LeBron James the dust into the sifter. Once it's full, I head underneath and start spinning the hand crank. And with that, we are now sifting dust, finally making progress. But there's a small side effect to using the hand crank. We're practically starving. Using the crank requires a ton of hunger. I notice how hungry I am and I eat some berries, including nightshade, which turns out to be poisonous. After the nightshade berry takes away a little bit of my health, I notice I have 2 more health points. Apparently you get rewarded with extra hearts if you eat a variety of different foods. Neat. I get back to work on sifting, eating along the way, and I take out the items from the sifter, which includes lots of bone meal. I look at the quest book and see that the sifting quest is finally complete. I collect the various rewards, including 4 more sifters. We finally defeated sifting. And with that quest done, this concludes part 1 of the Let's Play series. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you on Twitch where I build Legos. Link in description. See you next time.